Hello, I'm Roger Bisbee. The sun's shining and we've got ourselves an interesting outdoor project here. We're reviving all these old balustrades and this retaining wall made up of sleepers. It's over 20 years old, it's tired and shabby, and the owners thought, shall we replace it all? Or is it possible to revive it? So we got involved and we consulted the guys at Barrettine who make a whole load of wood restoration products, and we got them involved. We asked them what would suit this project and they've come up with a list of solutions, and we're going to take you through those step by step. So rather than having to go to the expense of replacing all this, we've given it a new lease of life. Yesterday, Juby renewed all these sleepers on these steps because they were looking a bit worse for wear. They weren't great. So in order to keep them looking good, I'm going to use this Barrettine decking oil on them, which is water repellent. It's a lovely product because it not only repels the water, it's also got UV stabilizers in it, which means that it won't go silver, it won't degrade in the same way, so it'll stay looking good for longer. And it's also Decking Association accredited, which means it's the gold standard, so you can be sure that it's going to do the job. You've only got to just flood this on and watch it soak in, really. Even though these are pressure treated timbers, you can see they're quite dry and it will soak in nicely. And then it forms this surface which is water repellent. You could just keep oiling your deck up every time it's looking a bit shabby and you think the water's starting to get in. And you might be wondering why you would have decking oil as opposed to other wood preservative oils. And the reason is that it's got abrasion resistance. It's good for heavy traffic. I made the mistake once of cutting them too precisely. If the water collects on them, it's not a great thing. So having somewhere for the water to go, like seeping down the side into the drainage below, is a great thing. So now I've put this decking oil on, I've got one more further thing to do, and Barrettine have come up with this decking oil which is anti-slip, and they've actually won awards for this because it's a constant problem for people. If you've got a shaded area or in the winter and you've got a deck or even steps like this, it can be really treacherous. So not only has this got all the properties of the decking oil in it that we've already put on, but it's also got that anti-slip. So once we put the decking oil on, we let that dry and then we put this on as a top coat. Jeff, the householder, is laughing because he thinks he's got me captured here. He thinks I'm going to have to stay the night, but he's wrong. I might be old, but I still got it. So these sleepers are actually acting as a retaining wall, but they're not really sleepers. I mean, they're not railway sleepers which were full of tar, so you can see that they do suffer from the elements after a few years, 20 years old, and they really needed a bit of work. So the first thing we did is put the wood reviver on there to get rid of all that silvering, all that kind of degradation from the UV and everything else. And then we used a mold killer to get rid of the spores. It's very important because if you leave all those little spores in there, they will show through whatever you put on in the way of a finished coating. Now, we could have gone for a preservative on this, but they're so thick that I thought it really wasn't necessary. But what we've put on is the Barrettine wood protection treatment, which is going to keep the water out. That's the most important thing. It'd be like water off a duck's back. So this comes in a range of different colours. You can see that it goes on, just flood it into the coating there. There's nothing here that is harmful to pets or wildlife. Very, very easy to put on. You can see the way that it flows on. We left 24 hours between putting the reviver on and the mold killer before we put this on, but it's best if you can get it all done in the dry in one go without it raining in between. But you can see that the sun's shining and this is really soaking into the wood very nicely indeed. I might come back and give it a second coat in a while. So the other point here is that the end grain, this is where most of the moisture is drawn into the timber, so it's always very important whenever you've got exposed end grain to give it some kind of protection on the end. Now, I was thinking of putting a capping all the way along the top of here, and that is an option, but the householder didn't want that because when it turns around and goes up the stairs, he said it will present a trip hazard. So he just prefers to just put this on, and he said he can go back and do this again The idea is that we do this every couple of years, just give it a coat, because that will keep the weather out. It is UV resistant, which means that you don't get that silvering, what we call the denaturing of the wood, which is that top surface that suffers from the sun rays. This will protect it from that. So we've got the UV, we've got the water protection. You won't have to go back up to preparing the wood. All you've got to do is put another coat on, give it a clean off and put another coat on. There are some quite cheap ones around and you think, okay, I'll just use that water-based product, but a lot of them are really just dyed water. I mean, it's very easy to make a cheap water-based product, but they don't do an awful lot of good. They don't really preserve the wood, they don't repel any moisture, and they certainly don't have any UV resistance. So you put them on, you think you've done a great job, pat yourself on the back and go back to your sun lounger, but a year later you're back out there doing it again. This denatured wood was silver and looking horrible, so we gave it a coat of this Barrettine Wood Reviver, which works miracles. It's quite amazing the way that it gets rid of all that silvering. And I know a lot of people have got not only decking and balustrades, but also lovely summer houses that they had built a few years down the line. They're looking a bit tired and silvered. This is actually a plant derived material, incredibly. We're not dealing with any nasty chemicals here. Brush it on as thickly as you can. Don't rush the job, because it's all those little bits, all those nooks and crannies, which in the end are going to make the difference. It's important not to do too much at a time, because we don't want it to dry. What we want to do is let it do its 10 or 15 minutes, let it do its work, and then after that we're going to hose it off and scrub it down, and that will get rid of all the material that it's basically released from the wood. So maybe one panel at a time is good enough. So in a nutshell, what this product does is it turns grey, tired looking wood back to its natural state. So even though this new timber is pressure treated, the end grain, as soon as you've cut it, you've lost that bit of protection from the pressure treatment. So what we do is we put this end grain preservative on any cut end, any open wound if you like, put some of that will soak into the end grain, and that will make sure that the water doesn't get in there, because if the water gets in there, what you find is the ends swelling up. You may have seen that around window frames and all sorts of things. So just that little dab in there, and again on every single other one. And also, if you're screwing down into this, you can just dab a little bit of this end grain preservative on the screw hole before you put the screw in. It all helps. Belt and braces is going to give you a longer life. Well, the wood, not you. Now we've got these handrails fixed, we can go on with the wood preserver. That pigment in there will also stop the UV degradation, so it'll stop it going silver again. Importantly, it protects against insect attacks, so that would be woodworm and all that kind of thing, but also against wet rot and fungal decay. So happily, it's a nice warm day today. There's a bit of breeze blowing, so this is going to be touch dried very, very quickly, which means I'll be able to get the second coat on in a day. If the weather isn't so good, if it's not so warm, you may have to wait 6 hours, maybe even 12 hours for it to become touch dried before you put the second coat on. But it is very advisable to use 2 coats. It will give you the maximum protection for the longest possible time.